Hello, welcome back. Give me 1 second because you know, this. So, all right. Hopefully, this gives you the full screen instead of the itty bitty one, which also reminds me I need to, in the caption of the last one, put in where I got the graphics from that IG account. Um, So yeah, I had a rough day yesterday, had a rough night, so I don't have a lot of prep today, but here we go. So this is just some introduction checkup things before we get into actually walking through a planner. And so this is kind of like the second part of preparing yourself for that. So you were assigned to do those writings. And um, here's an example of things that I pulled out from my vacation, a perfect day, or the obit. And the reason I will tell you in a second, but these are some of the things that I really want to do on a vacation. And then these are things that I really want to be known for in life. And then these are the things that how I would want a perfect day to go. And then what you're going to do, you've already written it out. You don't have to rewrite it. I just did it like this so that it was all because you don't have my writings, but this is what I got from my writings. And so then with a colored pen or highlighter or whatever, you're going to identify the roles that you have in life. Sometimes it's self-care. Sometimes it's your role as a spouse, as a friend, as a student, as a family member, as CEO of something, as retired buddies, your role in LGBTQA allyship or membership. But I want you to go back to this list and circle the roles that you have in your life. So even though on vacation I want to connect with my hubby, I have a husband, so that tells me that my role is of a wife. I want to meet new people. That tells me that what's important to me is being a member of my community, helping and serving others, being a friend, being a mom, again with the husband thing, people, home, work, teach kids. You can see how this is going. So you're going to read through all of those with the highlighter, go through and highlight these. Sorry, let me just back this up for a second. These different roles that you have, okay? Because these are going to be important for when we do this in a second. And let me get through this. All right. Um, then I've got hearts. I think I've got more than hearts. Hold on a second. Let me see what's happening here. Okay. I don't know why this is giving me my Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues is a whole another thing. It's not something I'm going to give you in this workshop. It was something that I used to teach. Um, I am in a book written by somebody called The Success of Blue's Clues and how they were able to make a show so successful. My kids loved it because it's the phase I was in when Blue's Clues was big on Nickelodeon. So you have highlighted with the highlighter the roles that you play in this life. And then um, go through with another highlighter and highlight those things that you see as goals. For instance, sleep. You're not getting enough sleep. I didn't get enough sleep last night. That was my own fault. Um, and so sleep is important to me. Sleep is something that's a goal that I want to be able to set. Connecting with my husband. spending time to ponder and to read, um, focusing on being a good mom. In a perfect day, it was drinking all of my water. It's researching um, for my day any of the work goals that I have. It's being present for my kids. It's being outside. And even if it's 5 minutes just to check the mail, it's being outside. So you're gonna do the rolls, and then you're gonna do some hearts around those things that you really want to work on as goals right now. Excuse my voice and excuse these. I don't know why these are in here. Also, I was gonna tell myself because um I can't go over 40 minutes. So in the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about this priority pie. And so I'm going to walk you through these things. Again, this is the taco bar. Just watch it, walk through it. Some things you're going to jump out like, wow, I've never thought of that before. That's great. And some things you're like, oh, this is really boring and this lady's crazy, whatever. But I'm just throwing out some information and then I'll tie it up as I have been doing at the end. So, a priority pie, usually I only have people do four priority pies, four sections of the pie. Because if not, just like when we used to do the categories before with the brain dumping, you get overwhelmed because there's too many categories. So with the priority pie, we're going to keep it to four. And excuse me, these are these are the ones that I've chosen for myself. Is myself is a priority, that of a wife, a mother, and a social worker. Those are the roles that I play. And so those become the priority in my life. And now that we've got those identified, then we break it down. Remember, we take that big idea and we break it down into doable, chewables. And so then I just tell my students to pick two goals that they have right now for these roles. So for myself, I want some downtime and more exercise time. As a wife, I want to do something fun on date night. As a mom, I need to have fun with my kids and spend some just unstructured time with them. Uh, as I made this, my kids are younger, and so they're all grown, and two of them don't even live here anymore. So whatever. But anyway, you get the idea. And then work is, um, I really want to put in that extra time training and then to be able to clock in on time. Let's say that I'm driving into the office 2 days a week and I just seem to always be 15 minutes late. So these are the goals that I have based on the four roles that I've identified from those writings that we talked about. So then, um, these are examples of how you do that. So for yourself, you want more reading and exercise time. Work, you want more, you want to be able to get the certificates that you need to be certified in, and you need to be on time for work. Um, so here are some things that you can find anywhere when it comes to goal setting. And when you're like goal setting and time management, but this is how it comes together so that you're not overwhelmed and just don't do it, right? So you ask yourself the what, when, how, and is there a deadline? So for myself, I want to exercise. That's the what. When? 3 days a week. How? Well, how am I going to get there? Well, I need to get gym clothes in a bag, sign up at the gym, and find a trainer. Do I have a deadline? Yes, December 29th is the deadline so that I can start on the 1st and annoy all the regular gym rats. So those are how those are the next thing that you're going to write down, because all of this, like I said, is going to come together and be tied together here in a second. Um, there are so many ways that you can plan. You can have paper planners. You can have apps on your phone. You can just use your Google Calendar. There's so many to choose from. And so, what I'm going to want you to do next, after you've identified your roles and some goals that you have, is to pick a planner type that is going to work for you. And you know what? If you pick a paper planner and decide, no, that's just not working for me, then we can talk about other planners. There's no rush, and it's just, it's what works for you, right? So I used a Franklin. Let me just show you really quick. Oh, no, you can't see me right now. I don't think, but I had a Franklin planner that I loved so much, and I worked so hard in doing my own dividers and seemed sometimes even making up my own brain dump list so I could do that in my planner for the day. I've used it in different ways and different shapes. Now that I am forced retirement and not doing a whole lot, um, I have a rough draft of a family planner, just in case you can see. It's one of these kinds. Hi, hello, this way. Um, because I really don't have a whole lot going on. My husband's taking over more and more of the things that I did around the house. I'm not working, and I'm having to do a lot of sleeping. And so this is things have changed. This is the way it is. I used to have a calendar right back here, and it was 2 weeks at a time, so that when I was in the middle of working and I needed to schedule a client 1 to 2 weeks out, I knew I could just look at those next 2 weeks and then not be overwhelmed with trying to find a time for the next month. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but there are multiple types of planners that you can use. There's multiple apps that you can use, and but don't toss your monthly calendar. You're still going to need the monthly calendar, even though we're going to talk about the difference between daily, monthly, and weekly planning. And we can talk about that right now. If you try to daily plan the roles and goals that you have, you're going to fail because it is too limiting. It's limiting you to each day. Let's say I only want to work out 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's Thursday. I can't daily plan exercising. I mean, I could, but like I don't want to plan it. Like have it where I gotta go, oh, I'm supposed to exercise? No, that's only 3 days a week. It gets all confusing. The monthly planner you still need up there because you need your calendar for the birthdays and the parties and the soccer practices and the ballet recitals and all of that kind of stuff. We still need the monthly planner. But the key to successful time management planning is weekly, because you are still going to be able to take your roles and those goals, and then you're going to be able to plug those um, in a weekly calendar. So we're going to stop there for today. I want you to just think about where we were just a minute ago. Find a planner that you want. If you tend to have a ton of things to do every single day, we can talk about that kind of planner. If you'd rather keep it all on your phone, all on an app, or all on a Google Calendar, then make that decision. But just remember to ask yourself the what, when, how, and then set a deadline. So that's your next step. And once you get all of that in order from the last lesson and then this lesson, then we're going to do a walkthrough of planning successfully so that you are living and prioritizing your priorities. And then you're not at the mercy of somebody else's thing and stuff and whatever. I hope that makes sense. So, anyway, I will stop sharing now because that's the only way it lets me get to hi to quit recording. So, I will, sorry, let's see. Um, I will see you at the next lesson. Have all of that stuff together and we can go from there. I hope these lessons are making sense. I hope you've enjoyed this taco bar madness and that there's something you can learn and that you can take this at your pace, your time, figure out what you want when you want it. So, all right, I will see you next lesson.